If you were around to see me spend my entire stimulus check on Lego Star Wars kits, you'll know that I'm a master at putting things together. So today we're going to try to fill in a lot of holes in people's playing by putting together all the main things you really need to know to learn how to play guitar in a way that is somewhat musical. I remember when I was learning, I was like, all right, I gotta learn a bunch of chords. The amount of chords I needed to know was kind of hazy. It's just whatever songs I like playing, those are the chords I ended up learning, but I never learned them with intention. I knew I had to learn scales. Didn't know why, but it was something I practiced. But what I really didn't realize till later was that all of this stuff is connected, and just like playing guitar as an instrument is really just combining everything you know into being able to express yourself musically. So, we have two key pieces of information that we're going to be drawing back and forth between, okay? We have a group of chords, and we have a scale. All right, so we're going to do this in the key of C major, because that's what people kind of tend to start with, right? There are 6 main chords in the key of C major, so we have to know those 6 chords, and then we have to know the notes that make them up, right? This is actually going to be a lot easier than maybe it seems at first, but basically let's go over the notes that make up the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? 7 different notes. You can even think of it starting on A. It doesn't matter what note you start on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the first 7 letters of the alphabet, right? Now there's a hand position that really works well to play all those notes. Again, it doesn't really matter what note we start on as long as we get those 7 notes, right? Now if we take it in the part of the guitar, the lower part of the guitar where the open strings can help us out, it really is a great way to start. Okay, so if we just play those notes, we end up getting this. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are all the good notes in the open to 3rd fret section of the guitar. Now why that's important is because that's also the exact same section where you start to play the beginning chords to kind of help you play songs and stuff. And then you can use a capo to play in really any key, but it kind of starts here. So I want to just go over these and make some kind of exercise that really helps connect all this together. The exercise is going to sound like this, and then we're going to go over in more detail everything that we need to know, right? So it's going to start like this. Okay, so it just covers a ton of concepts, all right? Chords, melody, strumming, everything all in one. We're combining all these, we're connecting, putting all of it together, just like that AT-AT Walker Star Wars kit, which I don't know why it's so expensive, but I guess when you just look at the raw materials, it makes a little bit more sense. So, C major chord, right? Looks like this. Ring finger, 3A, middle finger, 2D, pointer finger, 1B, and then open G and open E. Okay, you probably already know this. Now this chord comes from these notes that we played all over the place, right? Now you can kind of number them if you want. Numbering stuff helps eventually, but I really just kind of want to see this as a hand shape. Open 1, 3, open 2, 3. Again, it really helps to know the names that's the E, F, G, A, B, C. But let's look at the fret numbers. Open 1, 3, open 2, 3, open 2, 3. Okay? Notice that the A and D strings are exactly the same. G string is open 2, and then B and E are also open 1, 3, open 1, 3. Okay? Half of the strings are open 1, 3. It's a great way to think about it, right? The low E string is open 1, 3, the B string is open 1, 3, and the high E string is open 1, 3. 2 other strings are open 2, 3. And then the other string, the G string is open 2, right? So if you think of just A, D, and G as being open 2, 3, open 2, 3, open 2, everything else is open 1, 3. Okay, so just kind of shortcuts and maybe kind of consolidating some of the information instead of being like, all right, open 1, going over and over again. When in doubt, open 1, 3. And that's what we're going to work on when we start combining those single notes, which can be more of a melody. A melody is basically single note lines that kind of sound cohesive together. And then chords, which are multiple notes played at the same time with some kind of rhythm, usually. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to play this first chord with with a very simple strumming pattern. I'm going to pick the root note, which is the A string, which is where our C is. This is where C gets its name from, right? E, F, G, A, B, C. Knowing that shape and knowing the alphabet can help you find any note, the name of any note in this position, right? E, F, G, A, B, C. So I'm striking the root note A string, and then I'm going down, down, up, down, up. If you want to count it musically, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? So we're going to do that same strumming pattern for all 6 of the main chords, but we're going to follow every chord up with a melody line taken from this shape. Okay? And try to do it in time. So for example, we've got C major. Alright? The first 6 notes of that scale position. That's all we need to know. We're going to come back to it. We're not going to go through the entire position. Feel free to make up your own melody to kind of make it more musical, but we're just going in order through essentially the C major scale starting on an E. Alright? Some people will be like, well, isn't that the E Phrygian mode or something? And it's like, if you know that, why would you watch this video and just get over yourself for a second? Yeah, this is the C major scale starting on E, right? So we have a C chord, and we're combining that melody, that scale, with the chord, all right? So that's just the first chord in the key of C. The second note, remember, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, starting on a C, the second note is a D. That turns into a D minor chord. First fret on the high E string, pointer finger, pinky or ring finger, third fret on the B string, middle finger, second fret on the D string, and then I'm getting open D, aiming for the bottom 4 strings. Whatever. We're gonna do the same thing with D minor. This is the D minor chord. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. But now, since our hand shape is more weighted towards the bottom of the strings, let's come up with a melody there. We're going to descend through the scale, go backwards. 3, 1, open, 3, 1, open. Okay? So, just like from the C major scale, all the finger placements that I need to make this chord are from these notes that we talked about. Same thing with D minor. Again, everything is going to be made from notes in this scale. And we're really going to hammer home where those notes are by adding a melody from the scale after each chord, okay? So again, for the C major chord, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Right to D minor. 3, 1, open, 3, 1, open. Okay, so think of all the stuff you're practicing right now. You're going through what's called a chord scale, all the different chords in a key, right? We're doing it with some rhythm, so you're practicing your strumming. We're practicing a scale hand shape, which will be good for soloing and lead stuff later on. We're really working on picking individual notes with either a pick. You can do it with your fingers, it doesn't even matter. And again, just the timing of everything to kind of glue it all together. All right, so that's just the 1 and the 2 chord. The third chord in the key of C, C, D, E, is E minor. Open E, 2A, 2D, and then open the rest of the way. Again, as you can see, again, 2A and 2D, that comes from that shape. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing, strike the low E string. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And then we're gonna do the same melody as we did after the C chord. Again, this chord is weighted lower to the low E string. So it's easier to kind of make that transition to those first 6 notes that we did in the scale position, right? So, again, we're going to follow it up with that melody. After that, our ring finger is going to end on the 3rd fret of the A string, which is perfect because we're going to go to the 4 chord in the key of C. C, D, E, F. This is the F major chord. I like playing it like this. 3A and 3D with your ring finger and your pinky. Middle finger, 2G. Pointer finger, 1B. I like leaving the high E string open to make it that much saucier. Again, play it however you want to play an F major chord. It doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And then let's go to the higher melody. Okay, so after the F chord, we're going backwards. 3, 1, open, 3, 1, open. So really, we have just 2 melodies. We have the low one and the high one. One is ascending, one is descending. Ascending and descending through scales is something that's really important no matter, what kind of stuff you end up playing. So it's good to start thinking about it that way. All right. Let's add the final 2 chords in this key, G major and A minor. G major looks like this. I'm doing it middle finger 3E, pointer finger 2A, ring finger 3B. If you want to get your pinky on the high E string 3, that's fine too. This one seems lower weighted, so let's do the lower melody. And then A minor. Open A, 2D, 2G, middle and ring, pointer finger 1B, and then let's follow that up like that, okay? So all together, 6 chords, 1 scale. Put it in a rhythmic exercise to really, this is really going to make your playing better very quickly if you stick with it. Trust me. Also, I'm doing the same thing in the key of G over on my Patreon, which I have like a ton of lessons. It's $12 a month. Work through all of them in 1 month and just cancel. And it's probably like the best deal in music history, to be honest. So make sure you check that out because it takes you from an absolute beginner to wherever. And there's like a bunch of song lessons and stuff too. Okay, so again, this is just key C, but we can do this in any key. All right. So C major, the low melody to D minor, the high one, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and then end on C again. Now get creative and work any melody into these chords. I think really following up a chord with a melody is one of the most musical exercises you can do. That's how a lot of songs are written. Because again, that's all music is. It's a melody that is accompanied by a chord. Regardless of what genre it is, that's kind of what it boils down to a lot of the time. And I think thinking of a scale as a way to add a melody on top of a chord is a great way to familiarize yourself with any of those kind of tricks, right? So again, it's always great practice to do this. Remember this chord scale: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor. Maybe next video we can get to B half diminished. But again, those are just the 6 main chords, right? And you can number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how musicians will communicate with each other. If someone's like, play me a 6, 2, 3 in C, they're like, 6. All right, that's A minor. A minor. 2 is D minor. E minor. And then add those melody notes and start soloing and rocking it out like a total boss. So again, check out the other lesson over on the Patreon. I'll link below. It's just doing the same thing in the key of G, which is the people's key. So again, between the key of C and the key of G, you're off to a great start. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. And if you need me, I will be assembling the Millennium Falcon Star Wars Lego kit.